By the way, how are you doing, Tiger?
I'm good.
Yeah, good is good.
I'm not.
So,
Food is good.
what the heck happened last time? You guys started off
Mm,
your voyage from Purgles, direction to Nolyn, but it's a very long voyage, and you guys have just made 1/4 into the voyage, and 1 week and a half have already gone by.
I've been taking notes.
Haha, notes are
Not
good.
very good ones, but they're
Nerd.
notes.
But anyway, you guys finally left the what's it called? The city of Capaya is not the capital of Metals. The capital of Metals is Socia. But anyway, it's a very big port city, and you guys went there, met like two, three groups. You met the
Yeah, we met. Well, the only group I remember meeting is the Truth Seekers.
yeah, you met the Truth Seekers, and you heard a lot about the God Slayers. You haven't got to meet them yet, and you also heard about the Dark Brotherhood. And that's a whole lot of information for everyone to keep their minds occupied for a little bit.
My
But
computer is still froze. Should I reset it?
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have to, Sam?
By the way,
No.
Sam, I don't know if you have any ways of doing that, but now you can access Roll20 from your cell phone. If you have a cell phone or a tablet, you can now access it from that. But anyway, you guys were in Capaya, and you were leaving. Captain Giuseppe just showed up to all of you guys and said, "Well, everyone, we're now going to Ra, a little island settled in the middle of the sea by the kingdom of Mythos, and I heard that the God Slayers are settled in there. They have a guild or something, so that's where we're going. Hope everyone's ready. But once again,
Oh,
like I
that's
said,
entertaining.
keep the rations in mind. We don't have a whole lot for this journey, and hopefully they will provide us with some more."
Got it.
And with that, you guys start on your journey towards Ra. Does anyone want to do anything during this trip?
Um,
Well, I think you already know what me and Addis are doing, so.
Yes, you guys are researching magic, so that's a thing.
so,
Sam, true, I forgot
how's
about
the
that. Now that you guys have spent so much time doing adventuring stuff, you barely, even though it hasn't been that much stuff, you can barely remember the things you did at the beginning of your adventure. When you first set foot into the court of the king of Kyria, you guys were completely green, out of out of your own houses and pretty much unexperienced in the ways of the world. But now you guys have grown a little bit more experienced, and it shows because now you can do a whole lot more things than you could before. For example, Sam can finally fly. He has had wings for quite a while, but now if he so wishes, he can take up to the skies and fly for a short duration, like I think it was 1 hour.
have you said to me that I could fly half an hour, then at higher levels I could increase it.
Yeah, so you can fly for half an hour at 10 feet speed. So it's not a very fast flying, but it's flying nonetheless. And another thing you guys learned is that with time and during this journey, now after hearing everybody saying so much that you will encounter your deaths in the kingdom of Nolyn, you guys have been practicing a little bit your combat shenanigans, and now what you can do, I'm gonna choose to change that rule. What you guys can do now is switch your weapons on the fly. You don't need to waste an action switching your weapons anymore.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
So that should make things a little bit more fast paced.
Oh boy, I'm gonna be devious then.
so first off,
Some things
I
though still take an action, like shit, putting out or getting in your shield, that takes an action. But just switching from weapons you have like on your holsters, that's you can do that instantly. But if you have some weapon like stashed away in your bags or whatever, it takes an action. but if you have your main weapons, you can change between them with no issue.
Oh, good.
So that should keep things flowing a little bit faster.
So
Sure thing, Sam.
I want to go talk to Matthias for a bit.
Okay.
So
Sure.
I go look for him in the ship.
So on the second day of voyage, you walk around the ship and you find Matthias just kind of perusing around the top of the boat on the main
Yeah,
deck.
I'm just hanging on the main deck.
And Matthias, as soon as Sam approaches you, you feel something about him that you have not felt before. You feel some sort of energy about him that you can't very well place. It feels divine, but something feels different.
Can I-
Something feels awkward. Well, not necessarily. It feels weird. You want to do a check?
Gee. Yeah, what kind of check would it be? Would it be an insight?
Alright.
Maybe perception?
For the reasons of this, I'm gonna say you're gonna have to succeed 2 tests. First, I want
Okay.
you to do a Arcana check.
Alrighty.
Arcana.
Arcana.
Oh.
You don't succeed that test, unfortunately. But go ahead
Nope.
and also roll a religion. A religion thing.
I'm having terrible rolls to start off with.
Okay,
Best
Matthias,
to get about now.
you have been very distracted from from being in the sea for so long. You're a ranger, you're a hunter, you're accustomed to hunt on land, but being on a boat certainly is not doing a whole lot of good for your perception.
Not really.
But anyway,
Oh,
you notice Summerlad approaching you nonetheless, and what happens next?
so you look like the type to carry a small variety of weapons with you.
Aye, that's true. I
Do
mean,
you
not only
Do you happen to have a hand axe that I could borrow?
yeah, I have a hand axe, but I mean, okay, it is just kind of a extra weapon I carry on my person. And why you're just looking for a hand axe here, Summerland?
It reminds me of something from the past.
Okay.
If you want, you can have this mace that I usually use, although it's just a regular case.
I mean, I guess so. Sure. I'm curious why. I'm just confused. So you're wanting another axe? I mean, you already have that great axe that you are carrying around for no reason.
That is true, but I came to realize that this one is not for someone with my size and strength at the moment. But I will keep it with me for now. However, if you want to use, go ahead.
I mean, sure, I'll take your mace if you're wanting my hand axe. Just know that I might just keep this mace, or I might just sell it off the next time I have a chance. Because I don't know if I find a use for it.
That is no problem. You can either keep it. You can either keep it with you, and we'll make trades per se.
Alright, so I guess I'm trading my hand axe to Sam for his mace.
For his mace.
Yes.
Okay.
That is a discussion we just had, so I need to add a mace to my inventory, and he can have a hand axe. It's just a basic hand axe.
Okay. Let me check up those stats real quick. I suppose you guys already have like some reference of their points, or do you need any help with that?
Let me see here. They should have standard equipment stuff here in the
Yeah,
player's handbook.
On the player's handbook, you should have like stats for your those weapons.
Yeah.
The mace should be a 1d6 bludgeoning damage for 4 pounds
Yep.
of weight, and the hand axe should be 1d6 slashing damage for 2 pounds of weight, but it's a light and it can be thrown.
Yep.
Light,
Also-
by the way, means that you can
To ask, are we outside? I have a question. Are we outside?
Yes.
Like,
You're on the top
So-
on the deck of the ship.
so Matthias also have a maybe weird question, but how heavy are you? How heavy?
Why would you even ask that? It's a little personal there,
Quick question.
Summerland.
Is anyone else on deck with them? Out of curiosity.
Because that is just the oddest
Just the
question.
captain and his bodyguard don't.
Oh, okay.
Well, you see, lately I've been more or less practicing with the wings I was born with, and I've been getting better at flying. I thought about trying to bring someone with me to the sky, at least for a little bit.
No. I'm already on the ocean. On a boat on the ocean. I do not need to be flying in the air either. This
Okay,
captain
okay.
is keeping his paws on the boat.
Okay, but I just have one last question for you. I don't think.
By the way, just a second. Only go ahead and make a roll of d20 to make it easier.
What? Cool.
Alright.
Oh,
What happens only is that you, real quick, just to get this out of the way, you go ahead and you try to make beer once again. You try to put in some wheat, leave it on the cup. Actually, you can roll with advantage. I forgot to remind you of that.
Yeah, I was just gonna say he has advantage, doesn't he?
Yeah, it does. So, oh shit.
Natural 20.
yay!
Alright, what the hell? Only you. Well, being after this big revelation that you just had about how to make beer, talking to the barkeep and whatnot, you also, now being on the ship and talking to the captain and talking to all the other sailors who are on the ship and are familiar with alcohol, you ask them how it should or should not taste, what experience they have, and by the end of those 3 days of voyage, you end up with, well, not a big batch, you end up with just a mug, just a single cup of perfectly fine beer. It is as good as any beer you ever had on any tavern before. And you have it. And that makes you very happy. You got it very nutrition as well. So if you want, you can go ahead and mark on your inventory that you have like 1 mug of ale, or beer, or whatever you want to type down, and it weighs 1 pound. And now you think that you already got down the basics of making beer, but if you want to try and make stronger beverages, you're going to need a little bit more study and experimentation. But as far as basic ale goes, you're very good at that already.
Also, for my conversation with Matthias, and I just want to ask him one last.
Okay, sure. Yeah, go ahead and ask me questions.
Is there? Do you have something in particular against undead beings?
I squint, give them this angry look. Yeah. I don't know if you were there when I was talking to the Truth Seekers, but undead attacked my village
Oh,
and killed a lot of people, including family.
I
So
see.
yes, I have a very seething anger towards undead. I will see them dead. Once again, they are abominations to life. They will die back and be put back into the ground where they need to be.
I see.
And I stare at someone. Why do you ask?
Well, from where I come from, the of necromancy were more or less heavily studied. I'm still not strong enough to do almost anything, but I am getting a grasp closer to more or less creating undead.
I get real close, right up to Silmerlin's face. And I say, you will not do that around me. Necromancers, no, listen to me. Necromancers attacked undead. They brought undead to my village, and they did this. You think that is okay with me? You are wrong. And then I turn and I leave. This conversation's over with.
I'm sorry. Goodbye for now.
So
I left.
Matthias, as you leave, you still feel like there is a weird aura about Summerlad, which is yet unexplained, but you feel that there's something going on with him. And Summerlad, you also feel that Matthias is extremely displeased with the idea of undead being around and you conjuring them up. But that's his opinion, and you're free to do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, out of character,
Well,
totally.
then.
But I'm just saying that in character, yeah, no, undead. You're going to find that I'm going to be putting them back into the grave.
So you
Well,
feel, Summerlad, you feel that if you were to indeed try and get this undead situation going on, you feel that it might not go as well planned as you might think.
I see.
So the first stretch of the journey is done. Anyone else want to do anything?
I'm just gonna fly around.
Okay, so you go outside on the top deck and you keep flying around, kind of hovering over the ship with your wings, trying to keep close to the ship, but also trying to test out the strength of your wings, see how far they can take you, how long can you go before you're tired, and well, you feel that you still have your limits. You can't fly forever, but you feel like if the situation were to call for it, you would be able to fly quite a lot, or enough
Nice.
at least. By the way, Oni, you go ahead and discount 10 pounds of wheat you had from your previous attempt to make beer, and you want to make more beer, so go ahead and roll to make beer. Flint, you want to try and improve your gun or something, go ahead and roll. You don't have proficiency with tinkering, do you?
I do now.
Okay, so roll your tinkering kit. Let's see. You want to improve your gun. Flint?
Yeah, I just rolled a 14. It only holds one round before I have to reload it. I'm wondering if I can maybe adjust that somehow.
Alright. So, what you are able to see with this gun is that the way it works, you have to load it with a pellet or with a bullet of this old rustic ammunition that they have over here. But you feel like there is a way to make this chamber a little bit longer, or at least make the reload time shorter. That's so you could shoot twice in a round. If you you keep tinkering with this gun for the first time since you ever had it. You try your luck at disassembling it with your tinkering kit, and you feel like you can actually improve it. Problem is you don't have the tools to do so. You know how to do it if you were to have the tools, but you feel like you will need to get to a forge and get around some larger barrel for the gun to make this sort of improvements.
Alright, well, at least Flint is able to sketch down these ideas.
So you'll make notes of your ideas, how you are going to improve this gun if and when you get the chance, but currently you do lack the current tools and equipment to do it. But that's a success, so congratulations.
Progress has been made.
Only go ahead and roll a d20 for... Actually, do you have proficiency with your brewing kit? Brewing tools, or how is it called? Oni? Nope. Alright, then roll a d20. Let's see how that goes. By the way, you do have advantage.
You rolled the same thing.
Well then.
11.
So roll twice only because you do have advantage on that.
That is an improvement.
That is a slight improvement.
Okay, that is an improvement. So because of the shaking of the ship sailing on the seas, it's slightly more difficult to handle all the objects, and with the sea atmosphere, you also notice how different it is to make beer in these conditions. But luckily for you, because now you're more wise on the ways of making beer, you also realize how much simpler the process is than you first observed. And actually, making beer now has a lower DC. So the difficulty of your beer making rolls is slightly lower. So you are able to make some beer.
And your cry is less ugly because of it.
So feel free to take 10 pounds of wheat for each mug of ale you want to make. So you can make either one mug of ale for 10 pounds, or you can use all your wheat at once and make all the ale you can. Up to you, one.
You better have a barrel to put it in. If he does that.
Well, currently he's kind of just filling mugs that he's finding around.
You better share.
On the ship, and he's kind of just keeping them for himself.
Quick question: would any of us be able to smell this beer being made?
You would not only smell, but you also see him making the beer, because it is a lengthy process, and you would see him fiddling with the cups and the wheat and the water and whatnot. So everyone on board not only has seen him, but he knows that he is making beer.
So Flint, being the slight alcoholic he is, will definitely want a sample of that.
I will definitely want to sample too, since it's all I smell down there.
So go ahead and try to get it out of him. So Oni, as you finish making your batch of beer, now you have several mugs of ale in front of you. All of them with recently crafted beer, so the freshness is still there in the aroma and the flavor. You sense two shadows coming from behind you, and when you look over, you notice that Flint and Draken are standing right on top of you, looking at you making your beers.
Hey, pup. Mind if we try your samples?
He is a type of
Gold fist then beer. Oni, can't you use the voice chat right now?
He has some background problems.
Yeah, noise with neighbors and such.
Probably. But anyway.
Right. And how much gold do you want?
Don't ask him that.
It's fucking
Don't
ale.
ask him that.
Beer.
I'll give you 2 silver a mug.
1 G per mug.
1 gold is way too much. The
Yeah, 1 gold is way too much.
charge is 2 silver.
You want silver?
1 silver, 2 silver, it's silver.
Can I insight check? Because I doubt.
The exact same thing.
I want to insight check
Uh,
to see if he's shitting himself with the artisan beer trick.
actually, sure. Make an insight check. Anoni, you make a
This.
deception
Probably.
check.
Oh god.
Those rolls.
This is hilarious.
Oh,
All right.
I'm going lower and lower.
You look at Oni and the expression on his face, the way his beer looks, all those things combined, you can see that this is freshly crafted beer, yes, and the supply is definitely short, but it is in no way better than any beer you have tasted in the past, especially being made with in such rushed and cramped conditions and with old wheat. So it is in no way any way better than normal beer, but it
So
is what
with
you
my-
have available.
With my long and toothy snout, my snout is directly in front of his now. I pull 2 silver out of my pocket, calmly put it in front of him, and say, 2 silver, take it or leave it. Then I just grab a mug of ale and take a sip.
I feel bad for him, so I'll give him 3 and take a mug.
All right. So you guys reduce that from your scores. Only you get 5 silver pieces, and you lose 2 mugs of ale.
I go with Flint to drink with him since.
So Flint and Draken, as you taste the beer, you can feel that it is indeed beer. It is alcoholic in the same way you would expect it to be, but you also taste a little bit of saltiness to it. Some very characteristic and kind of unexpected saltiness to it. You don't know if it is because you don't know why exactly, and both of you kind of look at one another after tasting the saltiness in the beer, and you hope to dog that it is because of the salty air of the sea around you and not because of anything else.
It's like it's not that bad, but it's
Because-
not great either.
Because as a connoisseur of alcoholic beverages, Flint might realize any reason. Is there a roll I can make?
He would realize what?
He might know why the ale is extra salty.
Boy, oh boy, do a very good perception check.
Oh, perception. Okay, I'm proficient with that.
Good job. No. Oh, wait.
You try to perceive, you try to kind of taste it in your mouth and try to gauge how it resembles every other beer you have had in your life up until now, or any other alcoholic beverage. And the only reason for why it can be salty, other than the salty air of the ocean, is not a good picture you're trying to produce in your mind. So you you decide to shake it off and not think too much about it. It is
Oh,
beer, it is
God.
alcoholic. That's what matters.
Do I see him thinking this at all?
No.
Well, I would look at it just for that one instance and fuck ever, drink more.
So Flint, you just turn it over, gulp it all down, and with a few sips, your mug of ale is over.
I pretty much do the same thing. Just down it.
He made the beer himself.
Yes.
He did make the beer himself.
Oh. So for the next 10 days since you guys left Kapaya. Dracon and Flint, the both of you kind of keep discussing about the beer that Oni made, while only you keep on making beers, and everyone else does their own things. Matthias, Z, is there anything you guys want to do while on the ship?
Nope. I'm good.
Can I do something?
Sam, is there something you want to do?
I want to look for, what's her name? Agnes?
Addis.
Agnes.
Agnes.
Okay, you
Okay.
easily enough find her on the corner of the ship, kind of with a big book in her hands, jotting down some notes and writing stuff in it.
Hello again.
She looks up at you and says, "Oh, hello there, summer lad. What do you want?" She keeps noting something on her book, but every now and then she looks up to see you.
I want to, just so you know, I have my hair covering my eye, but now I have my hand holding my hair. And then I asked her more or less the same question I asked Matthias, like, do you have something against the beds?
Agnes, she looks up at you with kind of a quizzical look, trying to perceive what do you mean by that. She goes like, "Well, I don't like them, if that's what you mean."
But if you had to work with them,
And
would you do it?
Why would I work with the undead? That they normally don't want to work with us. They just want to attack us. Why do you ask, Summerlad? And she now stops writing her book, closes it, and looks intently at you.
Well, more or less because from where I come from, necromancy is a big thing, and I'm trying to more or less get back to it. I think I might be close to creating undead.
You hear her letting out a soft gasp as she goes like, "Summerlad, where do you come from?"
I would like to keep that to myself.
At this moment, Agnes, she just stands up, even though standing up, she barely reaches her waist. She just keeps her book close to herself and also says, "I would also like you to not to keep your undead to yourself, and please don't conjure them. It is unholy to bring the dead back." And then she just runs off to another corner of the ship and leaves you alone in there.
Gosh dang it. Her too, huh?
Well,
This is
people aren't very happy with the idea of undead, you know. But anyway, Z, you play Marvin Gaye. Let's get it on. On the bagpipes, watching them drink their beer. So for the final remainder of the journey, all of you guys go up to the deck as Captain Giuseppe just announced, "Land approaching! Everyone to the deck!" And all you can hear on the bottom of the ship is Hentai playing his bagpipes on the deck. Everyone's over the railing, just seeing land approaching. And soon enough, you guys are docking in the port of Ra. It doesn't take you guys too long to stop in there, dock the ship on the port. Everybody is on the deck right now, getting your stuff ready to see the captain off, as he turns to the crew and says, okay, enough with the bagpipes, you." He points over at Hentai. "I'll be going down on land to talk with the God Slayers. Apparently they have a guild in here, and they are very good hunters, so they should have some provisions to offer us, because once again, we're run out of fresh foods." And then he looks over at his crew.
I go to the captain and say, I could probably help you with that.
Sure, if you wanna come along, feel free to come. I won't hold anyone accountable for the things you guys are gonna do, but we're gonna be departing when I say we're gonna be departing. Anyone else wanna come?
Can I come?
Definitely need off this shit for right now. Going stir crazy.
Yep.
All of
Salty beer.
you think
I'm
back.
hopping off
All of you
for the
guys
time
think.
being, and I'll fall with Dracon.
All of you guys think back to the fact that you have just spent 10 days aboard a ship going from Capaya to Ra. So the change of airs, or rather the fuel of solid land beneath your feet and tentacles, is a very welcome. Is very welcome to you. As you guys are step out into the small island of Ra, as you do, Hentai goes ahead and make a perception check.
Hentai perception.
Ooh,
21.
Oh boy.
nice hit.
So Hentai, as you look around, weirdly enough, this area feels very familiar to you, and you remember you have already been here. The way the wind here swirls, the way this air here feels above the water surface. You think back to yourself and you will say to yourself, I know this place. I'm very close to home. And you remember that indeed you are incredibly close to your home. The sunken city of Dawn Bay is just an island away.
Ah, this is very close to the home of my people.
And as you think, and as you realize how close you are to home, you also remember your quest, what you left home to do. As all of you guys get off from the ship and start walking towards around the dock, you you see a group come to greet you, and as soon as this group approaches, they stop, kind of in a line formation. You can see that there are 5 to 7 rangers, 2 of which are kind of hidden against the shadows, but you still notice them because they're not trying that hard to conceal themselves. But if you were not so perceptive naturally, you wouldn't see them standing there. And the captain just lifts up his hand and says, "Hello, people from Ra. I come to trade." And the biggest person at the front, you see that he is the leader of this place here, and he looks oddly and weirdly enough like a much older, a more rougher version of your party mate Dracon. He's a.
Do I recognize who this is?
I'm coming to that. He's a taller, black, dark, furred wolf, and when he looks over everybody, and when he looks at you, you see this very big smile show up on his face, and he just spreads out his arms and says, "Little brother, Dracon, come here!" And then he disconcerts everything else, comes right next to you, and gives you a very big, very tight bear hug.
Hello? Hello? Wait.
And you
Is this the
recognize that
motherfucker-
this is your older brother, not the leader of the Godslayers Guild, but he is your older brother, the other older brother.
Hi, Loki.
Matthias, under it, you can barely audibly just starts chuckling.
Can you let go? I know you're stronger than me, but you're starting to crush my lungs.
Houston Boulder lets you go. And as he lets you go, he still doesn't completely let you go. He lands both of his big paws on your shoulders and starts looking over at you and says, "Wow, you have grown, little brother. How have you been?" And then he looks over at your face and he sees this big gnarly scar on the side of your face, and he kind of shakes his head, lets out a very big toothy grin, and ruffles your head fur and says, "Haha, I see. You have been in some trouble already. What have you been doing, little brother?"
Well, my own thing. I'm working with the. Well, technically, I'm working with the Seekers of Truth, but not in official capacity. Yeah.
Finally looks back at the rest of your teammates. He sees standing over there. He sees Flint. He also sees Hentai. He sees Onel, Summerled, and Matthias. All of them standing behind you, kind of just keeping a little bit of respectful distance, but also looking intently at the both of you in this exchange. And behind him, you also see the rest of his guild and his own people, the other rangers. All of them also look at him with this look of, I have never seen him doing that before. What's going on? And then he finally lets go from you and looks at Giuseppe and says, "And you, are you the fine captain of this vessel?" Giuseppe just looks at him and says, "Yes, I'm looking to trade because you guys are hunters and we need provisions. We're going to Nolyn, and food would be good. It's a lengthy travel, you know." As he says that, Hilstol looks over at all of you again, and especially at you, Draken, and he says, "Little brother, are you going to Nolyn as well?"
Yeah. Yeah, kind of need to. Part of the business and part of...
As soon as you say so, you see his smile kind of die down a little bit. He looks over at you. Once again, he seizes you up and down, trying to get a measure of who you are now, being so long since he last seen you. And then he shakes his head and says, "Why? You're not ready to go to Nolyn."
Really? You're gonna do the big brother thing?
He looks over
I'm
at
not
you.
14.
Looks over at you and says, "Well, you are still little than me, little brother."
Yeah, by 5 inches.
Still, 5 inches might be just what you need to survive over in Nolyn.
Patiently waits for chuckles from the rest of the people around.
Matthias is just enjoying this. He's just hanging back and just watching, keeping an ear to the conversation as much as he can, trying not to be, listening too hard, but
Whereas Flint would be openly grinning at the cute display.
Houston he's done with this. He just crosses his arms and says, "Well, I'm sorry, Dracon, but you're not going to Nolyn."
Oh,
You really can't stop me.
Roll a persuasion check.
can I help you?
Persuasion? I am not great at that.
Sure, you can help. Boy,
Oh.
Go.
okay,
roll again?
Roll with advantage.
Natural
Yes.
20.
Oh wow!
Yay for me,
So-
and my help too.
As a group, Summerled, he steps up and stands right beside you, Draken. And as you do, all the rest of your team kind of realizes what's going on, and everyone starts stepping forward, and you kind of finally join up as a group. And then you kind of feel some movement in between your legs, and kind of weaving her way in front of all of you. Agnes finally comes to the front of you, puts her arms against her waist, and says,
Did you really
We're
have to go
going
through
to
my
Nolyn.
legs?
Yep, she did.
"We're going to Nolyn and you can't stop us." And Houston just looks at all of you as a group and kind of just put his big paw on his chin, scratches it a bit, looking over at you, considering what you're doing, and says, "Alright, I suppose you can go to Nolyn. But first, you're gonna have to do me a favor, Dracon, if you want me to let you go to Nolyn. You say you are ready to go, so I'm gonna send you off on a test. Do me this test, and you are free to go wherever you please, little brother."
Okay, I'm free to go, but what else do we get out of this?
"Well, you want provisions, is that so?" And he looks over at Giuseppe, and Giuseppe just nods and says, "Yes, but we don't need a test. I have gold." He picks up his pouch of coins and shakes it, and you can audibly hear a lot of coins jingling inside of it. And Houston says, Well, we are not forced to also. We are free to not trade with whoever we want. So, no rations for you until Draken and his group of friends come back from their little job.
I put a hand on Draken's shoulder and I chuckle and I'm like, Big brothers, he's not gonna let you go until you do this.
Houston just looks over at you and he sees the impatience on all of your guys' faces. He sees how angry Giuseppe is looking. He's squinting his eyes and just looking with seething rage at Houston.
I look to my brother and say, can you make it worth his time waiting? He's kind of on a schedule.
Like I said, you're free to go wherever you please, but if you want rations, you're gonna have to do this for me. But I'll make it worth your while and I'll give them to you for free. We have no need for your gold. And at this, you finally see Giuseppe's eyes looking a little bit brighter. He did not expect to get this transaction going on after what he
And
just said.
one more thing, brother.
What is
if
it,
I do
little
this
brother?
fast. I want you to get me a silver-plated rapier and a silver-plated short sword.
The two of them, a silver-plated rapier and a sword.
Yep.
Houston just looks over at you. He looks back to his
We have to
companions.
prepare for anything.
Looks back to his companions. One of his companions just kind of grins and does a little nod. And then he looks back at you and says, why do you need it?
We're headed to Nolyn. And I know for a fact that the guild has been contracting to make silver weapons.
He just
Which
chuckles
means
to
there are
himself.
most likely monsters there.
He just chuckles to himself and kind of lowers his head and shakes it a little bit before raising his head with a very big grin on his face and says, sure thing, I can do that. A rapier or a short sword, not both. We also need them, you know. You choose sword or rapier.
No,
Rapier.
the rapier's not
Okay.
a light weapon. Do light weapons in order to dual wield.
He just shakes, he nods with his head and says, okay then, let's discuss what you will be doing for me then. You and your
Hopefully
group of
somewhere
friends.
a little less close to the water. We've been on the ship for 10 days.
Fine, follow me. And then he
Can
turns...
I just ask? Can I just go and try and ask him a question?
Sure.
I want to ask him if there is a temple in the city.
You ask Houston Balder, son of the God Slayers, if there is a temple in the city. He just looks over at you and says, there is a small temple, not a big one. There is a small little place for the true believers, for the believers of Gafadur. We're going there, after all.
Wait,
Huh?
you're
Gosh,
going there?
And then he without answering, he just turns around, makes a hand sign to the rest of his group, and they just start going off into this direction. And you see that they step out of the docks that are kind of shabily constructed, and you see that all the way in the distance, not that very far away, but not that close either, there's a few conglomeration of buildings, which seems to be a small hunting village of some sort. And it's kind of far away from the docks, and the way over there there's no pavement, it's just earth. Yeah, they start walking that direction.
I am not... Dracon is not very happy about this, but... it's at least nice to see his brother.
Oh, it is nice to see people indeed. So will you follow them?
Gotta. No choice.
Yep, kind of have to.
Okay, so all of you now start following Balder, brother of Dracon, and now you all of you kind of see the resemblance, and he is indeed physically, he looks like Dracon, but personality-wise, he looks much different than what you would expect his brother or his siblings of any kind to sound like. Eventually, all of you guys, you reach this little conglomeration of buildings, and you see that there are a lot of buildings that are hidden in the woods, as this is a very wooded area, full of trees all over the place. And you start noticing that the way from the docks to the buildings is very kind of clear, even though it's just earth and stones here and there. It's still very clear compared to the large amount of trees to the both sides of you. And you start to think to yourself that if you were not to have any sort of guidance going into these woods, you could easily get lost, despite this being a very small island. You arrive in this big main building, in the center of this little village, where Hilstol and all these other rangers that were with him entered first. And as soon as you guys do enter, he stands by the door and he holds his hand up to you, Summerlad. He points off into the distance and says, "That is the temple of Gafadur. If you want to pray or something, that's where you would go." And he points over
I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna go there.
to the temple.
Unless someone wants. Yes.
Alright. You go to the...
We'll pick you up when. Yeah.
Sorry.
If you need me now, I can stay, but
Oh, we're just gonna be discussing. We'll pick you up when we're done and explain.
okay then. Thank you.
So he points you over to a very small building, and you can see that it's not even a building. It's more of a little house of some sort, like a very small outdoor temple with just a little rooftop and some columns holding together a little statue that you can kind of, from here it's hard to see, but you kind of think it is some sort of god. Probably this Gafadur they have mentioned before, one of the Almighties. And as you go in that direction, the rest of you enter the tent, and there is not really that much of comfort going on. This is a very small, well, not small, but it's not that very comfortable for guests, as you can see. He just goes behind a desk, sits down, puts both of his feet on top of the table, crosses his hands together, and looks at you without even offering you guys a place to sit or anything. So, Dracon Balder, little brother, are you ready to hear what job you will be doing for me?
My guess is you want me to kill something.
Oh, you're a smart one. Indeed, I do want you to kill something. But not for me.
Dad did raise us to hunt, so only makes sense.
I don't want you to kill this thing for me. I want you to kill this thing for you. I'm gonna send you over into the forests around our little village, and you're gonna hunt me a boar. Or rather, hunt yourself a boar. I assume you are familiar with them.
I believe I am. But I don't remember how long it's been since I hunted a boar, but
Thais just looks on. Boar. That's interesting hunt.
A boar
Might be.
is not a complicated beast to hunt. It is
No.
troublesome though when it is in packs, which you might find it to be. Also, if
so you want me to hunt a boar or hunt a pack of boar?
I want you to prove to me that you can survive in the wilds. You're going to Nolyn after all, and both of us know, probably not as much as me, but you probably know that Nolyn is a very dangerous land and it's not very well settled. You're gonna have to hunt your own food every now and then. Depending
I
on what
understand
you're
that.
doing there. I want you to prove to me that you and your group of friends can survive that.
Okay, should be an easy task.
Should be an easy task, yes. So, that is it. Then he just looks over at you and points at the door and just keeps looking at you.
Okay, no other information, just forest nearby, start tracking. Got it.
If you want information, I can give information for you, but that will not prove to me that you can survive on your own.
Well, you've told me that the forest's nearby, so...
Yes, this entire place is forest.
East or west?
He looks over at one of his ranger friends. You can see that this ranger friend of his, he doesn't look completely like a ranger. He looks like he's a ranger who is also sort of versed in the arcane arts. He looks over at this guy, and this guy just makes a little hand sign. And as he does, Husor just looks at you and says, "Do you really want to know? East or west?" Then he waits for your answer.
It would give me at least a direction to look.
Go ahead and roll persuasion.
I am not great at this.
Why? Why? Why?
I am not great at persuasion.
So you just kind of make a very annoyed groan of, "Ugh, really?" And then he looks over at you and says, "Well, if you insist, little brother, we heard that boars have been sighted to the west of here." And he looks at you, and you see kind of that he has a slight grin on his face. Yes, he says.
Oh, I'm definitely insight checking that motherfucker.
Go ahead and roll an insight check.
Do I have advantage because I know him?
No, you don't.
Damn it. 10.
10. Alright. You can see that this grin feels a little off. That he's probably sending you to deal with something more than what he's letting on, but you can't very well tell what he's sending you to do. As far as you can tell, it is just a more challenging boar hunt than the ones you're used to doing.
I swear, if you are messing with me in any way, I am smack you on the head like Dad did when we were 5.
If you do prove to me that you can survive, little brother, then you can go ahead and do whatever you wish. But for now...
I'll slap you on the head when we get back. I march out in frustration at him.
So Dracon just walks out of this little tent, and he leaves all of you kind of standing there, kind of confused and looking at one another in an awkward look. And he also just points back to the exit to the tent to the rest of you and says, "Well, it would seem to me that your leader has taken off."
I sigh, and I say, "Does someone want to go get someone lunch before Dracon runs off into the woods by himself?"
I'm not that stupid, I'm just storming out of the tent.
I walk
Punch and
out,
retreat.
and I'm just like, okay. I just head out.
So all of you head out outside of the tent, but meanwhile, Summerland, you approach this little temple built to the Almighty Gafador, and you're standing in front of it. Now you can actually see this sculpture. It's supposed to be some representation of a human, but not necessarily a human. He looks to have some sort of there's some proportions that are wrong and some proportions that you feel are deliberate. He's supposed to look
No.
like a human, but not quite a human.
Do I recognize this thing?
Make
Should
a
I
religion
run
check.
Well,
Where is it? Oh. No, this is not good.
You recognize Gaffadur as one of the Almighties. Gaffadur, as it happens, is the Almighty closely related to the nighttime, not necessarily the nighttime, but deception and subterfuge, so to speak. And you know that it is one of the Almighties that the God Slayers believe in, because they believe that the protection of Gaffadur allows them to drop on their foes unsuspected, or rather their hunt. But other than that, all you know about Gaffadur is what you have read in books and whatnot.
I
No,
want
only
to-
you cannot bed my brother.
I want to uncover my eye with my hair, the eye that is covered by my hair,
Okay.
and kind of watch it. Gonna be like watching it a little. Then I kneel down and kind of do a little prayer saying,
All
I
right.
once thought it was you who did this to me, but not anymore. However, oh shit, I forgot what I was going to say. However, I'd like to say that careful. Just that.
You tell the statue to
Then
be
I
careful.
Uh-huh.
Okay, roll a arcane check.
Then I cover my eye back. Arcane.
Yes, do an arcane check, because why wouldn't you?
Natural 1.
Yeah, boy.
So as you do, you say that to the statue, and you feel this kind of chill on your spine, as if something bad were to happen, and you turn around real quick, but you see that everything is just the same way it was before. You don't know why, but you feel something bad.
Deities.
But other than
Such
that,
mis-
you feel or perceive nothing.
I cover my eye back then.
Okay. So the rest of you guys regroup in front of this little temple. As a group, everyone's together now, and you have a direction and a job to do.
I am noticeably pissed.
You guys.
Adnis
go
just
west
looks
me
over.
or something?
Adnis just looks over at you, She tries the water. She tries to approach you a little bit before giving you a little tap on your hand, kind of just touching it carefully, and says, "Don't worry, Draken. It'll be all right. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna go back, and everything's gonna be okay. We just need to do this little thing. Don't worry. We're here for you."
Hope so. Don't like that my brother is hiding something.
I just walk over to Dracon and I slam my hand down on his shoulder and just look at him like, brothers always hide things from their brothers. Obviously, he thinks that maybe you should be able to handle this, and you've got us. So let's go see and hunt ourselves some boars or whatever crazy beast that he wants us to do and get this over with.
Hopefully this is just an easy task and he's just messing with me.
Yeah, hunting boars is easy. Had to be out in the wilderness for some time, so just it's easy.
I've hunted
Question.
plenty of boar in my day.
Do I know how easy it is to hunt boar?
Make.
I mean, I should know, but
make a nature check.
Nature.
Yes, nature.
I'm not sure how easy off the top of my head.
Oh no.
Okay, so as far as hunting boar and other wild game goes, it is indeed as your brother have told you. It is boars. They're fairly easy to take down, but when they group up together, they can be very, very tough to deal with. So long as you're hunting a single boar or a very small pack of boars, it should be okay. If their numbers are too big, it might get a little bit dangerous, but other than that, you can't remember anything very specific about it.
I tell the rest of the team this. If we're gonna kill one, we either have to make sure it's isolated or it's a small group.
We can do that. Hold up my gun.
Mm-hmm.
I got this. That's all we need.
Yep. Tyus nods.
And hopefully you won't scare off everything else with that.
So, as a group, a very well-rested group, you guys will start setting off to hunt this boar?
Yep.
Okay. So, you guys finally, after being off the boat, you guys start walking, God damn it. You guys start walking west for a little while, trying to find this wild boar that you have been sent to hunt, or rather this group of wild boars. You don't know necessarily if it is a group or not, but you set off west anyway. West, right?
East?
West. Sorry.
Are you delivering east?
So you start walking.
Insert Patrick Star joke.
You walk for a little bit. It feels like a couple of hours have gone by, and make a what's it called? A survival check.
Me? Okay.
Whoever's leading the party.
Cookies. Ow.
Ah.
I mean, since
Well, I mean, I'd probably be leading. I mean, I am the ranger, so I'd probably be heading in there too.
So,
Yeah, so-
Drake,
Counting
as
on
you
her.
try to see if you can see footprints or some marks around around the area that might lead to wild boar, you are frustrated after you fail to track down any boars. You have been walking for quite a while, and you just look up and shake your head negatively, like, I can't find anything. And just as you look over Matthias, he's kind of pointing off to a direction, because he is proficient in hunting and he knows where to find things and how to find things, or at least wild game. So Matthias just points off to a direction, and you guys start following that direction.
I tell Tiger, you take point on this. I'm not doing too well right now.
Yes.
I just chuckle and say,
Sam.
"Yeah, we picked you up."
Hmm.
I just say, "Yeah, I've been around the forest a few times. I mean, yeah, it's where my natural explorer heads anyway. So, since because we're in a forest, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
you're in the forest.
Yeah. So this is my favorite terrain. This is so I get my natural explorer bonus anyway.
So
So we're gonna be moving at a pretty easy pace for any traveling around here, and yep. So yeah, so I'm good at tracking.
Okay, so
Anyway.
Matthias, you just, as you take point in the whole tracking, you kind of just feel that there is a slightly isolated boar nearby. You feel that it's alone, but you also sense that its pack is nearby.
Yeah,
But you also sense
So-
that this is the only pack of boar in this region. You can't find or sense any other around.
So I turn to Dracon, tap him quietly, and start whispering, "There's one right over there. But we have to be careful, because this whole entire pack is really nearby. So if he made a noise or squealed or anything like that, it would alert them all. But all that I can tell, this is the only group of boars in this area. So we're going to hunt boar. This is boar.
Got it. I take out my short bow and notch and arrow. And should we split up as a group? 2 different teams?
You remember that as you kind of walk around, you'll notice that this forest is very dense and very heavily wooded, and you feel like if you guys were to separate yourself and someone were to be in a group with a people that don't know how to track, they would eventually lose themselves in this forest.
Yeah, I shake my head. No, that's not a good idea to do that. We'll need to stick together.
Is there any type of high ground we can use to see these things?
I mean, if we're in a forest, we got all these trees.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the trees would cover everything underneath them, so you wouldn't be able to see very well.
So no rocks, no hillsides, nothing?
No. It's very flat, weirdly enough. There's like very little variation in elevation, but nothing significant.
Okay. Everybody keep low, move together. Be ready for anything.
Okay. What's your marching order, by the way?
I imagine Matthias would be in the lead. I wouldn't be that
Yep.
far from him.
I'd probably be a little behind Matthias.
Okay. Everyone else?
So,
Z's not in the room right now. We'll just put him right in the middle.
In the middle.
so Matthias.
So, as you keep walking the direction that Matthias pointed in earlier, eventually you'll see a wild boar slightly further ahead of you. It is alone. It is near a lake, and it seems to be drinking some water. And you guys see it from far away, and you start to approach it. Go ahead and roll stealth, everyone.
Stealth?
Stealth.
Yep, 10% stealth.
Roll for Z.
22.
Oh boy.
25.
What the heck is
That's that. Now let.
something is happening?
Uh-oh.
What's going on?
Completely distracted doing my own thing.
Only here.
I'm gonna probably screw this up, probably.
It's a fish.
I think
Yeah.
Oni, if you're go ahead and roll stealth.
Still need to roll stealth, Oni.
This is not good.
yeah. So half of us are not being stealthy.
I mean, would
One
you
of us
mind
is-
doing enough
2 of
that?
us are being very stealthy. 2 of us are being The other 2 are not so much.
Yeah.
So Matthias, you didn't answer my question.
No, we don't. Don't worry about it. Don't go flying around because the trees would you just get caught in the trees.
I see.
All right, let me.
I can track things just fine.
So you approach this lone boar that is near a pond in a little bit of a clearing, and as you approach, it does not seize you, which is good. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and ask you guys not to move your character tokens around this little map because it has a thing going on.
Just get mine selected just in case.
Ooh,
It has
trees.
line of sight that is blocked by trees. That's fancy.
Yep.
So
Yep.
a little bit ahead of you, you see this boar, and as Matthias said himself, there are others nearby.
My armor class is not 13.
But you guys have managed to approach completely unsuspected. So you do have the upper hand if you wish to do any sort of fancy shenanigans to this poor lone boar that is hiding over there.
Okay. I'm gonna go to this tree for cover. Whoa, that's a little disorienting.
Wait. Doug.
Sure. What's up, Sam?
Wait, let me see. I rolled 2 odd numbers.
You didn't.
I can.
Oh wait, you did. Okay. Yes, you did. So Sam, as you guys are walking around, you see Sam kind of grunt a little bit. Sam, roll a d20.
Okay. Where is the okay? 1. Oh,
What was
Alright.
that in?
So as you guys are walking around, Sam just lets out a very loud grunt. Not loud enough to alert the boar, but it's noticeable when you guys look over at him, and he's kind of grinding his teeth together and holding himself in place, trying to shake off some sort of pain that somehow just came upon him. Sam, you take 1 point of damage.
shit.
I'm just,
Actually,
hey, you're right.
yeah, 1 point of damage. What did you say, Kun?
I'm just turned to Summerlet. I see this. And, hey, you're right, man.
It's gonna be fine, but something good will happen.
Now, like I said,
Alright.
you guys approach this boar. It still hasn't noticed you guys, and it's just lapping some water in that poorly drawn pond. And you guys have the upper hand for now. What do you guys wish to do?
Okay. Before we start this, I tell Flint, you were the last one to shoot. Got it?
Alright, I mean, I still have my bow, but, I mean, gun. Gun.
Yep. You want to use your gun. You're the last one to
Yeah.
shoot. Got it?
Alright. Just take an aiming stance.
Yeah, I draw. I have my. I'm pulling out my bow as well.
Okay. So all of you guys take point and you train your ains over this lone boar. And then
Okay.
what do you do?
I kind of nod to Matthias and that we're both going to fire at the same time.
Yep, I agree with him, and so I get my bow drawn and ready.
Okay.
So if you both of you guys are gonna attack him.
Yep.
Okay, who is going to attack first? I mean, you guys are gonna both go at the same time, but someone please do roll first. I need two
Okay.
different
Dracon
rolls.
will go roll first.
I'll do it.
Okay, Dracon, go ahead and roll for an attack with advantage.
Oh, advantage because
This
doesn't
is
see me.
surprise.
It's a surprise. We're just starting combat, so we're doing.
Would
a
this
surprise.
also take sneak attack into account?
If you have
Yes.
advantage. That's better.
Okay, so you roll your attack. That's a 17. It does hit. So go ahead and roll for damage. And Tiger, feel free to go and attack as well.
7 piercing and 2d6.
Ooh.
For a sneak, for a sneak
That's
attack,
it.
you mean?
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, you completely killed that poor lone boar that wasn't there.
Yeah, seeing his attack just strike perfect. I just lower it down, and I'm just like, well, I'm not needed for this shot.
Yeah, same. I lower my gun.
So as
I got
Draken, as you lose your arrow, it just kind of pierces the boar right in the neck, and it barely even makes a single noise before dropping down dead. Uh, and barely has a chance to make any sort of alert to anything or anyone else, and it drops dead on the floor.
Did I just Percy?
You
You
almost
just
Percy'd. Don't have
totally
the
own that
Oh,
boar,
so you
though.
Percy.
So everyone kind of just holds their ground, looking nervously at one another, and then look back at you, waiting for you to do something since you dealt the killing blow on this creature.
Okay. I motion to Matthias for both of us to go up carefully.
Yep.
Towards the the boar.
Yep.
Okay, the both of you go ahead and roll stealth.
Stealth
Stealth.
22.
18.
Flint is actively looking around for any other threats or possible threats.
Okay, so Draken and Matthias, the both of you approach this dead boar, and as you do, Flint, go ahead and roll perception as well.
Perception.
Oh,
5.
I see nothing.
So at this point, you're more
Hello, Scanlan.
you're more focused on on this dead boar and this very dark, well, not dark, but this very heavily wooded forest is kind of disorienting, and you kind of just see shadows everywhere but also at nowhere, and you're unable to see anything else. And as you guys approach this poor pierced boar, Draken and Matthias, you'll notice that indeed there is some other boars nearby that you can see, perceive behind some hidden trees. And you notice that they are all kind of just feeding or searching for truffles or whatever. They're just on the they're on the ground doing their own thing, kind of moving around very slowly. They all seem to be chilling.
Let's
I
pull
have-
the body away.
Yep. Sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
Me and him are gonna both pull the body away.
Okay. Go ahead and roll another stealth check.
Stealth.
No.
Mhm. As this boar is fairly.
oh, the same as before.
Only reversed.
What the hell, even?
You get
Being
this
very, we're getting
line.
some good rolls. We're also the most stealthy of characters.
Yeah.
Alright.
Jeez, I wonder why.
We're also the hunters.
Alright, so as you guys finally finish doing that, the both of you are able to pull this boar away from its pack and back with you. And surprisingly, none of the other boars seems to have noticed this.
Whew.
Okay. How heavy is this thing, by the way?
A boar? Boy, I have no idea. I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that it's like 200 pounds. It is not. It's
That's
not.
very
It's not. It's not
long.
very light, but it's also not that heavy either. It is. It is. You guys are able to carry it, but it's not that light. It takes some group effort to carry it around.
We need to carry this out of here.
Wait. So, are we struggling to carry this thing?
No.
No, two
Oh.
people can seem to move it easily.
Although
Okay.
probably slow down moving it.
Oh, yeah, before we all go, I just asked both Matthias and Dracon. By the way, did you guys feel stronger or lucky when you were doing this or something of the sort?
Not that I noticed.
Thais just looks and says, "No, Dracon just had a good arrow. He caught that boar like he should have."
Huh, I
I
see.
am really surprised I rolled 2 6s on that freaking stealth. The freaking
Oh yeah, I
sneak
mean,
attack.
it is kind of overkill. You didn't need to pierce that boar so well pierced, but lo and behold, there you have it. So you guys are gonna start going back towards the guild, is that so?
Yep, with the boar in hand.
Okay, so you guys, the rest of the group just feels kind of I guess we helped, and you start walking back towards the guild. And by now, you have a very good idea of where you are, where you're going, more or less. And it does not take you guys long enough to start walking back from whence you came.
I have this sad look on my face.
Why do you have a sad look on your face, Sam?
You know why I have this sad look on my face.
Okay. So you start walking back towards the Hunters Guild, the God Slayers. But as you do, something just does not feels right. This feels way too easy, much easier than it should have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something off here.
Yeah, Flint is very on edge and is actively looking around, even though he's probably going to see nothing still.
And as you guys are walking, who is leading the party again?
That would be me.
Okay.
Well,
I would say that me and Bad are carrying the.
Okay, I guess I'm
Me and Flint are carrying the board just so Matthias can guide more easily.
So
Because I'm guiding since I was the one who leaded the party and I'm leading the party out.
Alright, we'll be right behind that board then.
As you guys are, Matthias is leading the way, you suddenly feel something off, and something just does not feels right, and you feel a weird smell that you have felt before, but it doesn't feel like it belongs here. And as you feel this smell, you go ahead and make a perception roll.
Alright,
Everyone?
let's do this.
Just Matthias.
Oh, just okay.
Ooh, good throw. Decent one.
Middle of the road.
You're not on the road. You're kind of still in the woods, but a little bit closer to the guild.
I meant the roll was kind of not bad, not good.
Oh, okay. I see. Sorry.
Half.
As you're walking, Matthias, you just notice that there's someone slightly further ahead of you. But this person feels familiar, and as you approach a little bit further, you notice that it is the other ranger that was together with Houston. This ranger that was kind of off to the side and felt like the second hand or something. And he sees all of you guys approaching, and he just loudly, very loudly, starts clapping his hands. Well. It seems like you got your hunt after all.
I just look up to him and go, we shot a boar and caught it. And I point back to Flint and Dracon. Dracon was actually the one who slew the beast.
Yeah, we
He was
just
the one who fired the arrow that slew the beast.
He looks back, he looks at you, Dracon, kinda grins a little bit, and starts. Dracon Boulder, son of the God Slayers, born into the Boulder family of Bupacolis, born into the God Slayers Guild of Mythos, and yet, you turn it all away. I guess you really do have things going on for you, huh? You're being able to turn things around as you wish. And then
I want to insight check this guy because something's off.
Okay, go ahead and roll for an insight check.
Can I help him in any way?
No.
Nope.
Can I do my own insights check?
No.
Oh.
Well, that's going on.
As you look over this guy, you're kind of a little bit distracted, trying to place yourself together as you're carrying this boar with Flint, and you look at him, and you feel like there's something not quite right. He seems to have sent here, but you don't know why he was sent here to track you guys.
Okay, I'm gonna try something that might bite me in the butt. I want to try and charm person him.
What does that do? I have no idea what that does.
Do I just click on the spell to get the stats?
Yeah.
It might the chat that way.
Yeah, I have it prepared.
Let me read it here real quick. You attempt to charm on a humanoid you can see within range. You must make a wisdom saving throw and does so with advantage if your companions are fighting it. If you fail the saving throw, it is charmed. Blah blah blah. Okay. So
Since we're not fighting, he doesn't have advantage, so.
do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Because it is somatic, you have to kind of do motions with your hands. You're gonna have to let go of the board to do this. So I'm gonna have
Can
you.
I drop one hand and do it while holding it?
You're gonna have to do a sleight of hand check.
Thank God I'm good at those.
I have a bad feeling.
So go ahead and do
Hello?
a sleight of hand.
20.
Woohoo!
Oh boy, that is a dog damn high roll. Alright. So you go and you very sneakily, kind of barely, without showing you quickly, mutter some words and shake your hands, and you cast a charm person on this ranger that has approached you guys. And you must do a wisdom saving throw. Your spell save DC is 12. Is that so?
Yes.
Okay. Let me check. The roll a d20 should be easy.
He has to roll a d20, not me.
Yes, I have to roll a d20. The right.
Yee.
Okay. Suddenly, this guy just kind of shakes his head a little bit, and you see that he's starting to have some trouble concentrating. He's looking at you guys, and he's trying to ground himself. And you see that there is a clear struggle with him. And then you look back and you see that Draken has just cast a spell on him, and you don't know exactly what happened, but this guy just suddenly drops his demeanor and stands up and says, "Oh, Draken,
Yes?
why are you here?"
Like I said at the docks, I'm here because the ship needed to dock, get supplies.
I mean, here at the forest, it is dangerous. Let's go back to the guild.
Wait, why is it dangerous?
There's boars around here, and they're not friendly. We should go.
What is wrong with these boars?
These boars... they're not just boars, you see. There's something more about them. And you see now that he starts looking left and right, kind of nervously, looking over.
I want to do I kind of look around. Do I see anything?
Make a perception check.
Good thing
Can
I'm
I-
good at those.
That because I was actively looking around the whole time.
As you look around, Drake and Boulder, you actually do see something kind of coming closer. You do see a boar that looks much larger than any boar has the right to be, and it seems to be following you. It is at a distance, and it is kind of very stealthily, out of doing everything it can to not get perceived, but now that you actually actively looked forward to it, you see it kind of sneaking behind you guys, and it does seems to be much smarter than a normal boar would be.
Ah,
Yeah, he's the only one who sees it, Ove.
I'm just gonna tap Matthias on the shoulder, and kind of whisper, "There's something following us."
Yeah, I go look and see.
You turn around and you do see the same boar now.
See, I would need to. Can I see what kind of boar it is, considering it's much larger?
Make a nature check.
Let's see how this goes. Oh, hey,
Mm.
14. That's not too bad.
You look at that boar and it looks much bigger than other boars, and the way it's behaving, it hasn't attacked you. It was sneaking and trying to gain distance on you guys, but it is keeping eerily quiet. You don't know exactly what's up with this boar, but you know that it's not natural for a boar to behave this way. You know that there's something up, but you can't tell very well what's going on with it.
That's not a normal boar.
Think we should engage it?
I'm not sure. Doesn't seem like it would be the safest choice for us to engage that thing.
It's following us regardless. It's stalking us.
True. But it hasn't attacked yet. We need to keep an eye on it.
I kind of wave Onel forward.
As you do,
Oni.
You notice that this boar that was following you, it noticed you guys stopping, and it noticed something was up, and you see that now it completely disregarded trying to keep quiet and follow you guys at a distance. Now it is straight up rushing towards you guys.
I yell, "Scatter!"
As you
drop
do,
the
you drop the dead board that you guys were carrying, and all you guys run in different directions, and you all roll for initiative.
Just
Yeah,
a
let's-
thing I want to. When I go running close to Dracon.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna wait for Doug to put everything up. Or roll initiative.
All right.
Average.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait until he puts up the.
Yeah, you guys
The
need
battle.
you guys need a little map to do the thing. I'm afraid.
To do the thing.
Yeah, I need it.
Thing.
The thing. The thing.
The thing indeed.
Oh, fuck.
Ba, 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 ba. So
Okay.
where are you guys again? All of you ran off in different directions. Is that so?
Yeah, we just kind of said scatter.
Yeah,
Kind of
Yeah.
trying to evade a rushing boar, you know?
Okay,
But I kind
and
of run closer to Dracon.
okay, you ran slightly closer to Draken, and all right, we have a map ready, ish. It's kind of awkward, but let's get this going on.
And I think we have an ally in the other ranger. Because of the charm.
Yes, I'll have to put that guy up as well because I don't have that going on. Let's throw that him. Where is he?
He might be a little pissed at you later, Dracon.
Hopefully we'll be long gone by then.
I go get a soda and we're being chased by boar now. What the hell is going on?
It's your fault, Oni.
Why am I?
Since I waved you over.
All right, we have things ready-ish. There we go. You guys are all in this new map.
Alright, let's see what this map looks like.
That works.
Oh, jeez. I'm like right in the middle.
Size boar.
I don't even see the boar.
Why is Hentai so close to it?
We just said scatter.
Okay, so now you go ahead and roll for initiative. Select your guys' tokens and roll for initiative. We'll see how
Right.
this goes.
Okay.
12.
10.
Okay, let's do this initiative roll. Man, let's roll.
Z's first.
Nope, Oni
Why
is.
is it mine? Is mine showing?
Yes.
There we go.
Oh,
No, Sam's isn't showing.
I rolled
to
well and got the bottom of the initiative order.
oh.
Okay, that's the ally guy you guys have. Now I have to roll for Adnis as well. Boy, there's so much shit going on here. Roll for initiative. Okay, Adnis rolled decent enough for initiative. And there's the boar hidden initiative as well that we're gonna roll. Let me go ahead and roll that on another screen so you guys can see this roll. It's too important. Oh boy, that's a shitty roll.
You're also gonna have to add Sam onto the turn order list.
Why isn't mine showing?
You have to click your little icon, your token,
Okay.
and then call for initiative.
Did it go now?
Okay, Sam is where he should be.
Alright. Sammy rolled an odd number.
Oh.
Alright, so who's first is Flint.
Okay. So
All of you guys are separated, kind of scattered a little bit. Go ahead and do your work.
I can only. Yeah, I can't see anything.
Yeah, that's kind of shitty. Let me disable
I'm
that
not-
because it makes visualization really hard. It was good for the other thing I had planned, but not for this, so let's disable that. Okay.
It's so but it's-
Go ahead and refresh your pages, I guess that would work now.
I mean, that would work because it's showing like your blind spots and all that stuff that you
Yeah, no.
can.
I wasn't complaining about that. I was just saying that, man, I couldn't see nothing. I couldn't see the boar or hentai or any of that. Yeah, see, I can visually. I still can't see that stuff.
Yeah, so
Okay, I can.
just
Yeah,
go
I can
ahead
see
and,
better now.
and refresh the page. It should show things working out now. Oh man, I had such a cool
All right,
thing
well that
planned.
at least works.
But anyway,
Oh, did we ruin something?
no, it's actually on me. Anyway, Flint, you're first. What you're gonna do?
So I moved over to the tree so I can get some cover going in case he decides to. Then I lean out, two-handed, take a shot at this thing. Let me get my character sheet up here since I did refresh the page.
Okay. Do you have range to hit it? Yes, you do.
Why is my other thing? Okay.
Ooh.
Oh,
3.
right. Holy shit. You do hit. Go ahead and roll for damage.
And then. Eight.
Nice.
Okay, 8 points of piercing damage. That's a lot of piercing damage. So you shoot this boar. You see your gun makes a very loud noise at your hand cannon, and you see the bullet piercing the boar right on the side, and it comes one side and comes out of the other, and it seems like this boar really took the hit as it lets out a very loud squeal. And then you see this hole where your bullet has pierced him kind of start to regenerate itself.
The fuck?
Crap. The rest of us notice this at all?
Yes, you do. You guys all look at this boar and you notice as this very recent gun wound just heals itself. It's almost like the boar shakes it off, shakes the damage off, and is good as new.
I think it's a troll.
Troll.
Like a troll monster, you mean?
Just referencing Skyrim in my own head here. And that's pretty much my turn.
Alright. Are you gonna move or do anything else?
I'm sticking behind that tree.
Okay. Oni, you're up.
Alrighty. I guess I'll do my signature trademark thing.
Hump a leg?
No. I'll just run up and try to suplex it.
Oh boy.
So I'll put myself here. Ah, shit, my chart got out.
Are you able to get that close?
Yes.
Yeah, he has movement of 40.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't realize.
Okay, so Oni, you go ahead and run right next to the boar, to the very big boar, and you hit him with your unarmed strike. So you close your fist and you go straight at it, and he does hit, but it deals no damage. Once again, you see that your fist hits him very square on the snout. You see that he kind of coughs up some blood to the side, but then he just shakes his head and he's not even bleeding anymore. He just looks at you with kind of rage on his eye. What else
At this
are you gonna
point,
do?
can I yell, magic?
It's a wizard, witchcraft.
Yeah.
What else are you gonna do, Oni?
Let me see. Shit. Well, I guess I'll just hit it again.
All right. Go ahead and roll for attack. This time you're kind of confused about why it's not taking damage, and you try to punch it again, but you end up whiffing it and you miss. And that's your turn. Now, Hentai, you're up.
Alright, Z's still not in the room, so I'm going to take control of Hentai here for a bit.
Okay.
Alright. Hentai... Well, these trees are moving along with the thing. Alright, I'll refresh the page after Hentai's turn. Hentai
You can also hold his turn if you wish.
I don't know how long Z's going to be, so I'll just do it.
Okay.
Hentai seeing that physical strikes don't seem to be doing much of anything, if anything at all. He's going to position himself right there,
Alright.
and then he's going to cast Thunder Wave.
Thunder Wave. Sure. How does that work? Do you roll for damage? What do you do? It has to make a save.
Fortunately, if it does do damage, if you make that save, you'll only take half damage.
So
If
1.
you don't, you get pushed back.
He'll take half damage and he won't be pushed back, I think.
Alright, so...
Yeah. Have to take a save.
It does not make the save. It fails.
Alright, he is pushed back 10 feet.
10 feet. Alright, so he's pushed back over there. And you see that it's that this boar, something that you did finally connected. You see he was hit with thunder, and now he's very, very pissed off by being kind of burned and shared from the electricity that is still kind of zapping out of his body. And then you see he's starting to shake a little bit. He shakes, and you see that it starts growing even more, but also its form changes as it does. And that's when you realize that it turns into what seems to be a wereboar.
What?
G
Look,
and Lordy.
So this is a wereboar. Go ahead and...
it's a lichen.
Yes, it's a lycanthrope. And...
That counts as humanoid, right?
yes, it does.
It also counts as a monstrosity, if it's wrong.
And just as you see this, you're kind of surprised by that, Hentai. Is that the rest of your turn?
Seeing that sudden shift there, I think I have enough movement to get back over here at least.
Alright.
Inspiration, who would inspiration help? I think Where's Adnis? Adnis is.
She's all the way over there, behind the tree.
She's out of range.
Yeah, I need 60 feet. So, out of range. Yeah, that'll be it. That'll be it.
Oh wait, that's just 60 feet.
Okay, you can
Ready?
inspire Adnis.
Okay. Yeah, he will play some lovely bagpipe tunes to our resident halfling wizard.
Alright. So Hentai, despite being shocked, he still goes out and plays some delicious bagpipe music to inspire Adnis. And that's your turn.
Yes.
Okay, Adnis, as soon as she sees him turning into a wereboar, she just screams at the top of her lungs, and you're kind of surprised by how such a small creature can scream so loud. She just yells, "It's a wereboar! Hit it with magic! Hit it with silver!" And then, slightly desperate but kind of regaining her composure a little bit, she's gonna try and notice that she has no good damage dealing magic going on.
Oh, fuck.
Same boat as me.
Yeah, unfortunately. So she's gonna try and move over here. Okay, can I move?
Can you?
No.
Yeah, she's gonna move over there and she's gonna use her delicious spell called Burning Hands to deal some delicious fire damage to this poor boyo.
I had to cast a spell for you while you were gone,
And I guess I casted it wrong because the idea of Burning Hands, dexterity. I gotta roll that. So the wereboar manages to do its saving throw, and it takes half damage of 9 points. So that's 4. It takes 4 points of damage, and then Agnes just shrugs at you, at the rest of the team. And now Matthias, you're up.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, this is gonna be problematic since I don't have any silver stuff. Okay. Let's see what I can do.
You do have Hunter's Mark.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, because it was on the screen. I refreshed the screen.
Does Hunter's Mark damage count for actually hitting it like that, or?
I actually don't
I think
know.
that hit it if you want Hunter's Mark damage.
Let me check real quick.
Or you just character sheet. Up top, like up, character sheet.
It just says that you do damage, doesn't says what sort of damage you deal. So
I
I'm
think
gonna.
the magic comes from the spell itself.
Second spell slot though. Why do you have 0 there? I'm next to you, level 2.
So.
Yeah.
If you do some attack that has some sort of oh boy.
That I can't open it, so
Yeah, he's just clicking things.
So you have to deal some sort of damage that already is magic in essence for the Hunter's Mark to deal damage. Otherwise, it's just gonna deal the same damage that the previous team did. But actually, it will deal damage to the wereboar if you manage to hit it with Hunter's Mark.
Yeah, because I mean, otherwise, any damage I do to it's gonna just shrug off, since it's a wereboar.
So technically, Hunter's Mark just says that it deals damage. So I'm gonna consider that as damage.
All right, well, I'll cast Hunter's Mark on it then.
Alright,
As
it
well.
has been marked with the mark of a hunter.
And then I'm going to... What should I do? Should I do bow or should I charge in? I don't think charging in would be good. I think I should probably keep my distance from it. So I'm going to take my longbow. and fire an arrow on it just for the heck of it, even though I know it's not silvered.
Alright, go ahead and roll for attack.
Let's see.
Alright, even from this distance, you, and with all the trees in place, you still manage to hit it. So go ahead and roll for damage, and then roll for damage on with your hunter's mark.
Right. Yeah, even if I did any of my modifiers, it wouldn't count, but I'll add that one anyway.
So you end up dealing 4 points of damage. Also, what does Colossus Slayer says? What sort of damage?
That's just if it's standard damage, but I think it's just it just takes extra damage when they do a weapon attack. So it will probably would be immune since it would be piercing still, I think.
Okay, what I'm gonna do is have the boar run a saving throw. Should take half of that damage or not.
Okay.
Historically, it's a good thing. So, he fails the saving throw, so he's gonna take half of your Colossus Slayer damage. So you deal 7 points of damage to the wereboar. And you see that even though your arrow hit it and didn't do a lot of damage on itself, you see that the lingering effect of your marksmanship kind of affects it somehow, and you see that it's slightly more damaged, but it manages to shrug off the arrow very easily. Draken, you're up.
Wait, can I move still?
Yes, sorry.
Wait, just give me a second.
This is still the rest of your turn, Matthias, if you want to do anything else.
Yeah, I'm going to move over towards Anis and
behind
get
her.
close. Yeah, behind her, right there.
Okay, so you move over there, and
Yep.
And that's it. That's all of your turn. Draken. You're
Yep,
up.
I'm moving behind her because I'm going to be moving out that way towards our ranger guy.
No, let's see. The guy with no
I'm
avatar.
gonna move up a bit
Okay.
and use Firebolt.
Sure. Go ahead and roll for damage or attack. It has to do a saving throw, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Firebolt's a melee spell attack. Not melee, a ranged spell attack. So it's a d20 roll. And with a 9, I don't think that'll hit.
What's the DC on your saving throw?
Oh, there's no DC on it. It's a spell attack roll, and if it hits, it does damage. If it doesn't hit, it doesn't.
Oh, I see. Ah, you rolled a 9. You don't hit. You see that,
Damn it.
despite it being very, very big and kind of burly, you still were off the mark and you missed it. And this tree that was aflame behind the creature, because of Adney's burning hands, it is lit up even more, and it just burns down as your spell hits it. So that tree is no more.
Okay.
And with the rest of your turn, you will.
I'm gonna go behind this tree and use my bonus action to stealth.
All right. So roll for stealth.
I have a miniature. It's part of my cunning action.
Yes, it's your bonus action. You can hide.
Yeah.
Or disengage. Roll for stealth. And as you move out of harm's way, you suddenly disappear behind the tree. The boar can't see you there anymore. For all intents and purposes, you're not over there anymore.
Okay.
Now, Griwawog, the ranger guy, is gonna have his turn. He just looks at all of you fighting the wereboar. You see that he's still charmed and still kind of in control. And he's still looking over at you, trying to get an inkling of what to do, since you didn't give him any orders. He just looks a little bit lost.
Charm person just makes him an ally. It doesn't control him.
Oh, doesn't. Well
I
then,
mean, we do have a spell for that. Just haven't cast it yet.
he is going then to move behind this tree over here. Can he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. He moves behind that tree, and knowing that this creature is a wereboar, he's gonna pick out one of his arrows, and you see that it's a different arrow. He kind of knocks it, and he lights it on fire, and then he loses it at the enemy, and that's gonna be a he misses. Would you look at that? The arrow just flies off into the distance, and you can see that he's totally unprepared to deal with the situation. And that's gonna be his turn. Summerlad, you're up.
Just a second.
Okay.
Okay. So
That was a very poor hit, by the way. Very bad roll.
first of all, I'm gonna move over here, and then I'm gonna go and cast. I'm gonna go and cast this.
Guiding bolt.
Oh no! Why does it?
So you try to throw a dart at him, and he
No.
misses with your guiding bolt.
Do I still have a bonus action?
You do have a bonus action, but before you do that, go ahead and roll d20.
Oh. Damn, this is gonna kill me, isn't it?
You might.
Oh well. Don't even wonder.
Okay.
But I'm still not done.
Okay. What else are you gonna do?
This. Yes.
Spiritual weapon. It does hit. But can you cast two spells on your turn?
It's because a bonus action.
Guiding Bolt is a spell though. In order to cast Spiritual Weapon, we'll cast a cantrip.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, so you won't be able to do it this turn.
Well, okay.
So
Can I just save this roll for later?
No.
No.
You can't do that.
Aw.
No, Sam.
Only bards are allowed to hoard dice.
Yeah.
And you already gave one out too.
Then I just used one level 1 spell slot.
Okay. Go ahead and mark that.
Okay.
In your spell sheet, you see. Yeah. There you go. You just marked it. And now is the creature's turn. The wereboar. You had a. Go ahead and type that in. Blah, blah,
I'm
blah.
guessing it rolled a natural 1.
No, he rolled a 5. It was very bad. Now he's gonna go. The wereboar, now looking around, he sees that it is surrounded by all of you, and he tries to look around. He can't find his mark, so he runs towards Onel, who's closest to him. Okay, that's 2 squares, and he ends up doing he does a melee attack on you, Oni, so that might hurt a little bit.
Crap.
I don't have this creature prepared here, so I'm gonna have to do manual rolls, so I apologize for that. He hits you with a 13 versus your armor class, that misses.
Wicked.
Thank goodness.
But he's not done. He's gonna try and do that again because, as you realize, he can attack twice in a turn.
Yeah, these were creatures are strong.
And he
like
rolls the
that.
same thing. He misses you again, Oni. And then he just kind of
And just like Lord Master says, don't.
come again.
Just quoting something that was said. Lord Master said, "Don't get bitten."
Oh yeah. And he just kind of roars at this guy as he misses both attacks on Onel. And now from the top of the turn, Flint, you're up.
Okay. So, I don't know how this is gonna go, but I saw the dude shoot a special type of arrow. So, I'm gonna run over to him, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30... Grab the tree, let me get there. Well, at least I'm in talking distance, so... Hey, what are those arrows? Can we get those arrows? We need to kill this thing.
He looks over at you and he says, sure, you can have them. And he picks up like 3 of those fire arrows and hands it over to you.
Okay. I now have other fire arrows. I'm going to assume that's my entire turn.
That was one action. If you still have a bonus action, you can do that.
I could.
Question is, do you?
But this guy is a little dangerous, so I'm go ahead and that. Blow my second wind so I can actually get a shot off.
Okay.
Not second wind, action surge. Excuse me.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was like you're not wounded.
That's
Anyway.
the one. So blow my action surge.
Okay.
I can get my bow ready with one of these new arrows here
Okay, and do an action again.
and shoot the thing, hopefully in the face.
Alright, go ahead and roll for attack.
You can do this.
So that is my longbow.
And you hit.
24.
So go ahead and roll for damage if you have any sort of weird damage you want to deal.
I'm using one of these special arrows, so what's the extra damage I can do?
Okay, for the fire arrow, you're gonna do 1d8 of fire damage.
Alright, so I got this going. This is for the longbow.
Quick question. Because the arrow is magic, would the piercing damage still work?
No, the arrows are not magic, they're just flaming arrows.
Oh.
But yeah, if they were to be infused with some sort of magic, they would deal extra damage.
Alright, so I got 2 for the fire arrow damage.
Or if they were silver arrows, but then again, you're not throwing around silver arrows. You deal 2 points of silver damage to him, or fire damage to him. And you see that he grows slightly more annoyed at being pelted by multiple directions. Even though some of those hits aren't connecting and some of those hits are not dealing damage, you see that over time he is taking a little bit of damage as time goes on. What else do you want to do, Kun? Or rather, Flint?
That's pretty much my turn there.
Alright. So, Oni, you're up.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna shout out to Adnis and tell her if I could be able to use silver coins for this.
Silver coins.
Yes.
She is too far away from you.
Well, I mean, I think I know what Oni's trying to do.
Yeah, attack him with silver coins like a fistful of coins.
Like brass knuckles kind of thing.
Yeah. But you do have silver coins of your own, don't you, Oni?
Ton.
Come again?
Yep. Got tons of them.
You can use your own silver coins. I'm gonna allow that, weirdly enough.
I'll just cut them out of my wallet and just use them as knuckles.
Okay, I'm gonna say that for an effective attack, you're gonna fill your fist with them and also put some in between your fingers. So that's gonna be roll d20. Oni. That's how many coins you're gonna use for this attack. Okay, so 9 silver coins. Go ahead and roll for attack.
Alrighty.
So go ahead and mark off as well that you spent 9 silver coins.
Ugh.
And you hit.
This...
You hit with your fistful of silver coins, so go ahead and roll for damage, Oni. 6 bludgeoning damage. I'm gonna consider the full damage. So,
Go Oni for the improvising.
Go Oni!
Oni, surprisingly enough, and taking everyone by surprise, you just pick a fistful of silver coins and punch him in the face. And as you do, you see that some silver coins kind of get attached to him, like they sink into his skin, and some kind of scatter around the ground. He just lets out a huge yell of pain, and you see that somehow this works.
You know, I'm gonna roll another d20. How much?
Yeah, so if you want, you can attack him again with a fistful of coins. So that's gonna be 3 coins, 3 silver coins. So go ahead and roll for attack.
Okay.
12. Boy, that just hits. Go ahead and roll for damage. Alright, so once again you kinda get some coins, a little bit less this time, and you try to hit him, and you deal 5 points of bludgeoning damage with your silver coins, and you see that he's filled with coins all over the place, which is an odd sight to see, but somehow, this makes you feel very good about yourself. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do, Oni, is reward you with a point of inspiration. Because that's amazing. This roundabout way of dealing damage. So, Hentai, you're up now.
Hentai.
I mean, unless you want to do something else on your turn, Oni?
No, that'll be it.
Okay, Hentai, you're up.
Not dead yet, no.
I will use my hand crossbow and take a shot at them. I'll wait magic on them.
Not magic only, it'll just take little to no damage. You have some backseat games I should stop doing.
Why do I keep eating this?
Wait.
What's up, Tiger?
Oh no, I was just thinking of something.
I use poison spray. Yeah, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to be within 10 feet.
Is this
Yeah, that is definitely 10 feet.
awesome?
So,
Poison spray.
So feel free to go and do that. Your poison spray.
Okay, that's 1d12.
Yeah, but you need.
Need to cast it. That's so I can see on the chat the DC.
You roll an
Click it.
attack. Yeah, click it. Oh, it's a save.
Yeah. Constitution save. Let's make that roll. He fails that Constitution save. So you just approach him and you spit poison on his face, and you can see that this boar just kind of reels back a little bit and starts coughing and hacking. And surprisingly enough, you deal 9 points of poison damage to him. So that's cool.
Oh, I don't have to roll for damage.
It already rolled for you.
Yes, it's already rolls. I got you.
Yep. It's been a while, I understand.
And what else you're gonna do?
And then I will inquire. Who?
Gonna do what?
Agnes, but she already has an inspiration.
And who's after that?
I can take it.
The thing on the side here. You see turn order? Inspire anyone.
I do magic.
Okay, I give inspiration.
Agnes already has inspiration.
Yeah, he's giving it to Drake when he said.
Draken, yeah.
Okay, so you give Draken an inspiration dice. I don't know how much that is. I think it's a d6.
It's the D6 at this point, yeah.
Alright, and now, is that it for your turn, Hentai?
Yep.
Alright, so Agnes, she's gonna go and do her turn now. She's gonna move a little bit closer, and once again she's gonna do Burning Hands on this guy, because all of her other magic is support magic. but she's gonna go and try Burning Hand on poor Wereboar man. So she is going to do 12 points of fire damage if he fails his saving throw, which is a dexterity saving throw of 14. Oh, he fails. He totally fails. So she just points her hands, the palm of her hands towards him, and he suddenly combusts, taking 12 points of fire damage. And other than that, she's not gonna do anything else. Luckily for her, all of her attacks are connecting. Now, Matthias, you're up.
Alright, so I'm going to put away my bow, and I am going to sprint to Sam,
Okay.
Summerland. And as I'm doing, I'm shouting to him, "Your axe! Give me your axe!" And I shout and I say, tell him to give me his great axe.
Alright.
You were there.
So you run up to Sam and you yell that.
Like I said, I'm going to use a dash, so this is going to take my action, but...
Your movement and your action, you still have a bonus action if you have anything you can do with that?
Well, I don't have anything I can do at the time for a bonus action.
Alright, so that's it. You yell to Sam to give him, to give you his axe, but Sam's turn only comes up for later. So for now we're gonna say that
I know.
you're standing there just waiting. Now,
Yep.
Draken, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna move. Move so I'm not blocked by anyone.
Yep.
Okay, now because Oni's next to him, I have advantage on attacks.
No, you get sneak attack.
No, because of pack tactics.
You have advantage.
Oh, right. I keep forgetting
So
that.
I'm gonna roll Firebolt twice.
Okay.
Ooh, might not have to.
Alright, you hit him. Easily enough. So...
Okay, just let me get to. Nice. Wait, no, sneak attack. I use dice. Just gonna roll the sneak attack now.
This is a wereboar.
Oh,
Okay, roll the 4 for your sneak attack.
And Firebolt.
1. Wow.
Wow.
So you,
points.
you run up and you prepare yourself to do the most strategic firebolt you can, but you realize that this is the first time you're actually using magic in combat, and as you try to cast a firebolt, you see that it's more of a spark than an actual firebolt, but it still deals 5 points of damage to him.
What am I seeing? A lighter or what?
You're just seeing a bolt and then fire hit him.
Pretty much.
More like a light spark to me. Get your shit together.
So you're pretty much throwing little fireworks at him, but it dealt damage. And you can now see that this wereboar, he's looking very bad. He's wounded, he's bleeding now, and you see that his wounds are not healing, those wounds you're dealing with magical damage or silver damage, and they're not healing. And he remains looking very bad, in a poor condition. And Grillwog Fall is gonna try again to hit him with his short bow. So he's gonna roll a d20 to hit. And this time it hits. Would you look at that? And I have no idea how much damage is a short bow, so I'm gonna have to check that out.
I have a short
1d6.
Okay, he's gonna deal 1.
Oh no, that's I'm sorry, short bow. Right.
1d6 plus whatever his modifier is.
Yeah.
So he's gonna deal 1d6 damage with his bow.
plus his modifier if he has one.
It doesn't.
Fire, probably, for the arrow.
Plus 1d8 for the fire arrow. So that's gonna be 9 points of damage he's gonna deal to this. Poor wereboar. And after that, he just kinda remains there hidden behind the trees. And Sam, Summerlad, you're up.
so.
You can cast
So-
a weapon now.
Hmm?
You can
Don't
cast
forget
a
also
weapon.
I just shouted for your to hand me your axe.
Yeah, you
The-
saw Matthias running over to you, yelling, "Give me your great axe."
Oh,
And now
okay
he's
then,
standing
and I
beside
give
you.
him the great axe. What does that cost me?
I will say a bonus action.
Nothing.
Damn it.
Just a
It
bonus
could be an action or a bonus action, honestly.
Come again?
It could be either one, but
Yeah, I mean, it
Then-
could be your action or your bonus action, but your bonus action is normally not as good as the action itself, so I would say it costs you just a bonus
Then
action.
I pass him the great axe, and the damage is 1d12 plus 1. If you are proficient with it, you know the.
It is
the thing.
it is a great axe, but it is a +1 to hit and for damage.
Okay, then
Okay.
I move
Magic.
here then.
Yep.
And let's try this again. No.
Doesn't it count as a magic axe right now though? Since it's a +1?
yeah, it is a magic axe.
Yeah, it is magic, but the damage is the same. It is still 1d12. It is 1d12.
Yep, that's what I thought.
Yes, it's 1d12
Oh.
two-handed. Okay,
Oh,
Sam,
does that hit?
it does hit. So you throw at him a... what's it called? A guiding bolt. So go ahead and roll for damage as it hits him.
But I'm not gonna cast it level 1. Let's cast it as level 2.
Sure. Go ahead and
Second-
consume a level 2 spell slot.
13 plus 5.
Come again? 13 plus 5.
Yeah,
Oh.
because
I'm waiting for how do you want to do this?
So that's
18.
18 points of damage. So Sam, as you run over to him and you cast your guiding bolt, what happens is that I tell you, how do you want to end this poor creature's life?
Oh,
just
Called
say,
it.
I just say, time for some punctuation, and then I aim at his head.
You say that, you release your guiding bolt, and you see that it kind of just does a swirling motion, and as it does, it dodges Onel, who is between the both of you, and hits him right underneath the face, kind of going on an upwards motion, and it hits him under his head, and kind of pierces a hole that goes from his chin to the top of his cranium, and just explodes as blood explodes to all their sides, and he just falls back, completely dead. And I might say as well,
Yay! I finally did something.
might say
Guys,
as well,
did I
a little bit
well?
unconscious.
He's
Guys, did I do
unconscious?
well?
Yeah, dead. He's dead. He's totally
I was
dead.
gonna say if he's unconscious, Matthias, cut off his fucking head.
yeah, that's what I was gonna take that to do after that.
Yay!
Congratulations,
Finally.
Sam.
Holy cow.
Thing.
You killed the thing.
The first thing he ever killed.
No, I've killed things.
Holding the
that-
axe, I just look and I'm like, damn.
You don't
Well,
need to act, Sam.
First thing you killed with magic. The first thing you killed with magic.
So now, as you guys look at this battlefield now with a dead wereboar here, you guys just think to yourself, there's something going on in here. As you notice that you guys just went against a gigantic beast who didn't get a chance to do his second turn, so congratulations, you.
Oh yeah, Doug. I'm not sure if this counts, but I rolled 2 odd numbers again
Mm.
because
Yeah, go ahead and roll d20, Sam.
where is it again? Oh,
It always counts.
oh.
So once again, you look over at Sam, and he'll just see him kind of squealing and grunting and doing some sort of sound that you don't know why, but he seems like Sam is in pain. So Sam, go ahead and take 1 point of damage.
There.
What the?
And Matthias, once again, that feeling you felt before in the boat, that something was going on with Sam. Now you feel it again, but you feel that the same energy a little bit stronger. as Sam just kind of
Well-
grunts in place.
Can I do another? What would it be? I have to do another Arcana check, right?
Sure, feel free to do so. That.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to perceive what's going on with him,
Mhm.
since I'm feeling that weirdness. All right, gonna roll again.
Okay, but
Man.
weirdly enough, you feel like there's something going on, and you get to roll with advantage.
So I get
Yeah.
Natural 20.
holy. Okay, I feel it this time.
All right, so you see that there is something going on with Sam, definitely, and now you can see that. You remember a little while ago, quite some time ago, when you first met Sam and he introduced himself. When you first met Summerlad, sorry, Summerlad, he introduced himself and he said he had a curse where he kinda sometimes he's in pain, but people around him get extra lucky, and you remember him saying that, and now you see that this arcane energy that going on around him, it's not necessarily arcane, it's more divine, but you feel that some sort of otherworldly creature did some sort of aggression against him, and that was him feeling pain. But because of that, because he felt so much pain just a while ago, you felt that you felt really lucky now. So you get to understand. You get to understand that whenever Sam feels this random pain that he feels every now and then, you get lucky. Not necessarily you. People around him get lucky.
So yeah, I walk over to Sam and I'm like, "Did he hit you? Are you hurt?" And I ask him that real quick as I set the great axe in front of me.
So you notice, huh? Wow.
How could I not notice?
Well, it's just my bones are hurting a little, so is my body, but it's not too bad.
Then I say that way, but then I lean up real close and I whisper, "I also felt something else. We need to talk later."
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Well,
And we'll end that there. And then I hand him back his great axe and said, I guess I don't need this at the moment."
yeah.
So you give
Well, this
your
is-
great axe back to Sam, to Summerlad.
Yep, so it's still in his inventory.
Draco?
while this is happening, I just want to cut off what's left of the head of this boar.
Alright, so you look over at him and you notice that there's something going on. You see kinda he's squirming a little bit. It looks like he's not dead yet per se. So just to be safe, you go and cut off his head.
I'm gonna use the dagger to just kind of carve around it.
It takes a little bit of work, and you see that it's kind of hard to manage that with your small dagger, but it takes you a little while, but you manage to cut off his head, and now you can rest in peace knowing that whatever this is or whatever this was, it's not coming back to haunt you.
I'm taking the head with me.
And you do that.
I'm not putting it in my inventory because I'm just gonna do something with it. Hang on.
Sure.
Let me get back. I yelled to Flint and Onel, take the normal boar.
Can I examine the rest of the body of the werebore for anything on it? For identification or anything like that?
Sure. You walk
And
over
Oni,
it.
don't forget your silver.
I don't want that tainted crap.
It's silver. It can't be tarnished.
Matthias, you walk over his body and you see that he was wearing very tattered clothes, and you see that being a werebore, there's not a whole lot he can do, or a whole lot he can carry comfortably as he kind of shifts between shapes. But he was using a very heavy maul, and it looks to be in quite good condition. It doesn't seem to be silvered, but it seems to still being quite very usable shape if you want to take it with you.
So it's a giant club,
It's a mole.
a mall.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll pick that up.
Okay, that is 10 pounds and is 2d6 of damage.
Do I notice the silver coins at all? That Oni used?
You do.
I'm gonna pick them up.
Alright, that's gonna be 12 silver coins that was on
Okay.
his body.
194.
And as you guys do that, this archer guy that was around, he just looks over at you and says, "Come on, we have to get back. It's dangerous here."
I look at him and
Yes, we are
yeah,
going
let's
back,
move.
and I just kind of take off
All
with the
right.
head.
So after
Yeah, let's head out.
facing the situation, whatever it was, you guys just don't even bother sticking around to see what else is gonna happen. You kind of just take off back into the guild, and now slightly disorientated, but you find your way fairly easily. All you do is follow east, and eventually you reach back at the Hunters Guild.
Okay, I enter the tent and just throw the head at my brother.
All right, you entered the city without even waiting for invitation. Just throw the head at the table.
I just have the head in hand. People are just looking at like, what the fuck?
All the other rangers are looking over at you, very kind of in a look of confusion and also awe, and also what the hell is going on. And you see Husto still behind the table, just going over some papers. And he looks up to the severed where boar head that is on his table. He looks back at you. And says,
I slam my hands on the table and say, "Explain now."
"I see, little brother. You have met Nolyn. Well, you have also done other things to Nolyn, but I guess you proved yourself capable, little brother." Then he stands up and hands over to you. He takes out from behind his desk a silver rapier, and he just hands it over to you. Without any ceremony, he just hands it over to you. And says, "You make me proud, little brother."
I am pissed. Like, are there more of these fucking things here?
Make a persuasion roll.
Can I do it with advantage because I'm like seething angry?
No, you should do with advantage because of my thing.
No, he doesn't. You do a normal
Aw.
persuasion roll.
Aw. And that's
not bad.
okay.
You just come up to him demanding answers, and he looks over at you and says, "Well,
I don't like not knowing what I'm up against, brother."
Where is he?
fair enough, little brother. This island has been plagued with lycanthropes, most noticeably wereboars, and I know you have hunted boars in your life. I was there for half of it, but I needed to make sure you were able to hunt something you don't know what is. And now you have proved that to me.
At this point, just throw a firebolt at a nearby crate.
And as you do that, the crate just explodes on fire, and you see all these other rangers running up to it and kind of yelling to one another orders like, "Oh, water, water!" And they run off and scamper to the side. And as it does, you see your brother, Husto, give you a little grin once again. It's very cockish, very devilish grin.
So, just one thing, when Dracon does that, I do this. Oh, one left.
Okay, Sam, you just cast crate water, and water simply rains down from nowhere into the crate and soaks the whole thing, and now the floor is wet as your water quenches the fire and then rolls off into the floor of the tent, and everybody's kind of looking like mildly annoyed, but also a little bit relieved. Draken, if you want, you can go ahead and do an insight check on your brother.
Insight?
Yes.
21.
You know that when you took off and started exploring your life and doing your own thing, turning away from your family and from your guild, you know that your father was very respectful of your decision, but you know for a fact that not all of your family was so supportive. And now you have seen firsthand a very real demonstration of some of them not really aiming for your success. Your brother definitely is not cheering for you. He won't personally go against you, but if he can in some other ways make sure that you fail in your objectives, he will try and do that. You glean that from your brother.
I look at him and tell him, don't lie to me again, or I could have things become very troublesome.
As you say that, all the other rangers who are around the tent, they just notice this air going on, and they see your brother kind of putting both of his hands on the table and standing up. And all of them kind of, you feel like they are closing in on you, like your free space is getting tighter as all of them are coming together, and then your brother just lifts his hand and all of them back away. And he says, well, little brother, I shall not lie to you anymore, for I won't be seeing you anymore, since you are going to Nolyn, so feel free to go ahead. You know the exit.
One thing before I go.
Sure.
Send a letter to Dad and tell him where I'm going.
He just looks over at one of his rangers, nods to him, and he nods back at your brother, and he just says, I'll send a letter as per your wish. But, you know, little brother, we already knew where you were going. Your movements are no secret to any of us. And then he just stands up and calls and asks one of the rangers to call in Giuseppe and says, call in the merchant, the captain. We'll make some trade. I believe I owe you guys some fresh hunted meat, some rations for the travel. And you don't need your own meat, for I see you have hunted a boar as well.
Mind if we butcher it in the camp?
Feel free to do whatever you wish, little brother. My home is your home. And then he walks out of the tent, leaving all of you guys behind.
Hate it when he does that. Just walk out of the tent. I look to Matthias and say, let's break down this fucking boar.
Sounds like a fun time.
And then you guys finally walk out and you start. You see that they're being a hunter's guild as it is. They have tools for butchering animals, very handily and kind of in sparse. They have a lot of tools for butchering animals, lots of places, so you easily enough find a place to butcher it. And a lot of people come in offering assistance, but you feel some sort of pride in doing it yourself, so you decline all the assistance and chop away at pieces and pieces of boar.
Do we do any rolls or?
Do a nature roll, just to see how badly or how greatly your butcher.
With advantage, because Matthias is working with me.
Sure, with advantage. Okay.
Good. Yep, we worked it as a team.
So all of you
Wait.
kind of gather around the two of them, seeing both Matthias and Draken butchering this boar that you just hunted, and it takes them very little time. It seems like they're very experienced and they know what they're doing as they go and butcher this boar into pieces and very compact pieces that they start kind of organizing on the corner as they go butchering the boar. And as they do that, all of you collectively as a group, you feel some sort of some sort of like even though nobody's talking, they're just kind of angrily hacking at it. You feel like this is some sort of bonding moment for some reason. Oni, you wanna make beer? Bear and sin with
That's
the.
one of the biggest. It's just.
Uh,
So we'll get like a since we skinned this boar and all that sort of stuff, we'll have that as well in our equipment.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say that you guys have gather 15 rations.
15 rations.
Yeah,
Ooh.
rations. That's the
Spread
right
it
way.
between all of us.
Yeah, sure. Feel free to spread it around however you see fit.
We're gonna make some boar jerky.
And Oni, go ahead and roll a d20 for making beer.
Okay, 7.
All right.
We have 8 people.
7 actually.
7. Everyone gets 2. Who wants the oddball?
I think it should go to either one of you. You killed it. It's your sir.
I
I
give
give it to
Drake the
Matthias.
larger. We're fighting about it. I'm like, fine, I'll carry it. So I'll take an extra ration.
And then I give one of mine to Dracon.
No, Sam. Take it. You killed that fucking thing. You deserve that.
Okay.
Also, do we get any hide or anything?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that too.
Yes, you do. You get just I was gonna say square meter, but it's not that. You get a square yard of boar hide.
Doug, just so you know, a meter and a yard are relatively the same.
Really? Yeah. Then.
Yeah, there's very little difference between the two.
Well, it sounds about right. Then you
yes,
get a square yard of boar hide. It was a big boar, but it's not that big.
Who wants the hide?
I carry it.
Sam, Oni, yes, you do go ahead and you make 6 mugs of ale from all the wheat you had on you, which you can divide as you see fit or keep them to yourself. It's your call. It's your ale. And other than that, Tiger, you said you had to leave at 7 or something?
No, that was for yesterday. We did it yesterday.
That would be me. I need to get going soon because I need to head home.
Yeah, Kun needs to head home.
Okay, so I'm gonna call it here. All of you guys end up.
Let me hit.
Oni says, "Time to sing the biggest guy in this den."
Which is probably Dracon's brother.
Sure.
No,
Oni, go
Dracon's
and
brother.
roll a wisdom check.
Who?
Oni, roll a wisdom check.
I want
Flat wisdom, to see if you can find who is the biggest guy here.
Ooh.
All right, you do go and call. Eventually, you find one of those rangers called Jana, who is. Boy, oh boy. Who is a half orc, who's kind of just nearby. You see that he's cloaked and kind of back from a hunting trip himself, and you guys kind of just slink off to some corner with him, and you vanish, and the rest of your team does not see you until the next day. Until all of you are ready, after resting for a little bit, you guys are ready to go back to the ship and continue on to the last part of your journey towards Nolyn. Also, Oni, go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw. Just because. On your character sheet, there on the top left corner, there are saving throws. You go on and you choose the. There's saving throws and there's Constitution. Go ahead and do a Constitution saving throw. Just click the Constitution. And other than that, all of you rest very well.
Oh.
As we're traveling on, I like to drag on and say, we're going to probably need some more silver or magic items. Weapons.
I know. That's why I was trying to get a short sword too for you.
Well, luckily you just got a steel rapier, but it's still something. I mean, it's a
So
silver.
let's see if there's we can pick up any out in Newland. Oh no, Oni failed.
Oh, he
Yeah.
critically failed. So, Oni, you do fail miserably to be able to handle how big Jana was. You were very eager. You did indeed find the biggest that guy you could find, but big was too big for you. And for the following day, I'm gonna go ahead and say that you're gonna roll with some disadvantage. Because why the heck not?
Peraí, eu só pedi 5 minutos.
But anyway, this is where we're gonna end things today. If that's alright with you guys.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
What's our XP going up? Go up.
Oh yeah, that's right.
True, that
Since
is
we
a thing
did
that
have that
happened.
fight.
I forgot. Sorry.
It was only 2 rounds of combat.
Oh, I multiply. I shouldn't have multiply. I should have divided. Never mind. God damn it. That's that much divided by this much. So, what? So each one of you gets 250 experience points.
You say
Woohoo.
200?
Come again?
Did you say 250 or
250.
250?
Yes. So each one of you gets 250 experience points. As not only you have hunted a wereboar on your own, pretty much, but you also, well, you encountered the God Slayers Guild. You encountered Hillstone Boulder, who's Draken's brother, and you survived what seemed to be some sort of ill-conceived attempt to subdue Draken in some very, very, very shady way. But luckily enough, everyone survived. So next time we will be finally arriving in Nolyn, so I hope you guys are ready for that.
Yep.
But for now,
And we're nervous because we're going to need some silver magic weapons, that's for sure.
oh, not only silver, we're gonna need all sorts of things. But other than
I
that,
have to do-
I must say you guys handled yourselves very well. Like, dog damn.
Yeah, if
I
Sam
got
hadn't...
lucky rolls.
Oh my gosh, if Sam hadn't taken out the wereboar at the end, I was going to be swinging that great axe like a madman.
I finally did something.
Yeah, I was
You
just
do something all the time, Sam.
I was
except
just
for that
I
first
was just thinking here like,
Game.
what can I throw at you that will like get everyone very stressed?
That was very stressful. That's the
Yeah,
reason
that was
why.
stressful.
But
that's
you
the
guys
reason
handled
why
that
I
very
was
well.
thinking.
Yeah. Only 3 magic users in the group, technically.
Yeah.
That's why I was glad to.
Actually, I was expecting you guys to be a little more spent when you faced the wereboar, because you guys also managed to not alert any of the other boars in the area.
That was lucky. We were
That
lucky
was
that we.
very lucky on my end.
And
I rolled 2 6s on a sneak
That is
attack.
Yeah, I was like, God damn it! I had so much things prepared, and you guys went and dodged all of it. God damn it! But I guess the luck of the dice were with you guys today, so that's good.
this
That
is
happened with Matt Mercer too.
Oh yeah.
I had all this prepared and damn it.
Oni, you're not dragging your lower half. You're just kind of walking with a little. Well, you're walking a little bit. Not very. You're not walking very straight, so to speak.
A little bow-legged.
point of exhaustion.
Come again?
Because if he has a point of exhaustion, he makes ability checks at disadvantage. That could-
True. Actually, Oni, you do get exhaustion. So that is a cool mechanic that we have not talked about yet because we didn't need to, but coming to the new world, that's gonna be a new thing too. The idea with exhaustion is that each level of exhaustion you guys get adverse effects, so only I'm gonna just go ahead and throw that for you. So what you do with exhaustion is that you get, first level of exhaustion is that you get disadvantage on ability checks. Second level has more downsides and
Okay.
on 6th level you die. If you manage to get 6 levels of exhaustion, you die. So better
Recover those
hello?
if we do long rest. Hey Sam, do we?
No, like,
how do we recover
this-
exhaustion?
We've got to do.
yeah, long rests do recover exhaustion.
All right, so we'll have to be careful and make sure we can do rests when we need to.
Yeah. There are some things that causes exhaustion, some things that do not cause exhaustion, so, or rather that heals exhaustion, so we're gonna keep that in mind and we're gonna throw that more into the game as time goes on. But anyway, only know,
Well-
not necessarily if you see more than 6 times. If you fail constitution saving throws too much. What's up, Sam?
Just saying that I have.
To go?
Oh yeah, I have to go.
Okay, I
Alright,
think Kuma
take
also
care.
has to go too.
Yeah, I need to get ready and go.
Alright. But anyway, thank you guys so very much for joining all of us today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's session of D&D. As you fought your first technical monster, which required a little more
Oh,
thinking on your
God.
part.
And this was a very me-centric mission.
Oh yeah. It was a Dracon-centric little encounter. I have things planned for all of you.
Can't wait till we see what happens with Oni or Flint or who knows.
Oh yeah, those undead men, they're gonna show up sometime. But anyway,
This one was very, because even the wereboar seemed to be targeting Dracon, or at least wanting to.
yeah, he wanted
Actually,
to, but he couldn't
I
find
hit
you
at one point.
because you were hidden. If he had seen you, he would have gone for you. So good thinking of you on you as well. But anyway, this is it for today, everyone. Thank you guys so very much for joining up, and I hope you guys enjoyed D&D today. And
Yeah.
we'll keep talking on Discord to set up for next week's session.
Just a question. Can we assume a long rest just
Occurred?
Just because-
yeah, you can assume that for spells and HP wise.
yeah.
Since we're on the boat and traveling.
Actually, was gonna take up on next week with some things I forgot, but anyway, we'll see that next week. But this is it
Sounds
for today,
good.
everyone. Thank you guys so very much, and I'll be seeing you guys next week. All of you, hopefully.
Bye.
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 And for those of you who were here on Twitch stream watching this show happen, thank you guys so very much for showing up, and I hope you guys enjoyed this D&D show that we did today. We do them every weekend, more or less. We have been trying to do them every weekend, and I'm gonna also be uploading older streams, D&D streams, to my YouTube channel, so you can follow up on the adventure as it unfolds. So yeah, there's some content if you guys are into D&D. Other than that, thank you guys on Twitch so very much for joining up today. Sorry that I could not pay attention to the Twitch, but like it or not, it's way too many things for me to manage. But anyway, I'll be seeing you guys next time. Stay awesome, and bye bye.